Our guests want big tips, so you are the host. Also, the company will provide you with high heels and protection. Also, keep your hands away from your ass when working, unless it's an emergency. If something looks old or spoiled, serve it to one of our guests.
48 minutes of dogs barking, 48 minutes of dogs barking, 48 minutes of dogs barking, 48 minutes of dogs barking. Growl. Growl. 48 minutes of dogs barking, 48 minutes of dogs barking.
What age did you, Jason? What age did you see Pink Flamingos?
I want to say it was 16. It was my friend Dave. He was the punk guy, the guy that was really cool. I think it was at his house on VHS. I think it was that was when I saw Pink Flamingos.
Similar story. I have a friend in high school. I want to say I was probably 15 or 16. And he was all into the transgressive media.
Oh, sure.
He had like the Nine Inch Nails like big box set from the 90s. They had like shit where like like someone's in like a torture thing and like the first thing he gets destroyed is their genitals and all this, you know what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah.
Like the Halo stuff or whatever.
Yeah, it was one of those ones from the Broken Fixed duology, whatever that was.
Yeah, this is a guy that like dropped out to like watch reruns on Comedy Central.
Reruns of what though? That's what I gotta ask.
He was the guy that had like all the tapes of Upright Citizens Brigade.
Oh sure,
and a couple other shows, but he was like very much in the Mr. Show, Upright Citizens Brigade. But he had a sister that would drive him to places, and we went to, I don't know, maybe it was Vintage Vinyl or something. And he's like, "Oh, dude, Pink Flamingos got a fucking score on this." And he's like, so we bought it. He knew what it was all about.
Right.
Because he was cool and I wasn't. I still think about like the end scene, the guy with the asshole, mow, mow. You know, it's that and Divine eating the dog shit.
Yeah. Kill everyone now.
Yeah.
I love me some John Waters. Did you ever see Dirty Shame?
No. You know something I didn't notice about John Waters?
Yeah.
He's gay.
No fucking way.
I know. I thought the pencil mustache was like a birth defect, but no, it's like that.
It's just like a birthmark just on the top of his lip.
It's like a cleft lip.
Yeah. It's 48 Minutes of Dogs Barking. My name is Jason. This is Brian. Welcome to the show. Shoot us an email. When was the first time you saw Pink Flamingos? 48 Minutes of Dogs Barking at gmail.com. You know, let us know. Or give us a call, 314-246-9766. Let us know when you saw Pink Flamingos. Well, Brian, it has been a week on the old internet.
Yeah, a lot of dead Palestinian children in my feed.
Not great.
Not great.
Not great.
You know, I made the observation that, like, you know what? I got really handed to Israel. They said, you know what? Rotten.com's gone, but we'll do something.
We're gonna get back.
They brought it back. I did not think they were going to make it happen, but like, yeah, it's just like my Twitter feed's like people being mad about like virtue signaling and all of this stuff. And then it's like, oh, it's just like some dead children. Cool. It's just like scrolling, like not even trying.
Yeah.
A man walking in the street crying pathetically as he has like a Walgreens bag full of like a family member's body parts because that's all that's left. And you're like, cool world we live in.
Yeah.
Just like really fucking sick. Like these people, that person never got to see the third Dune trailer. Sad.
That is a tragedy. Amongst all the other stuff, that too.
Yeah.
Well, Twitter's been having its own problems lately, Brian. You and I discussed this before the show started. This issue only happened for like a little bit earlier today as of recording it December 13th. But according to the Associated Press, their big story was Tesla recalls nearly all vehicles sold in the U.S. to fix system that monitors drivers using autopilot. And right around that time, Twitter suddenly... web traffic from Twitter to that Associated Press article was resulting in broken links.
Huh. That's funny.
And it's the most ridiculous, like, early web 404 page 2. It says, "This page is down. I scream, you scream, we all scream for us to fix this page. We'll stop making jokes and get things up and running soon." So this
wow, that fucking sucks.
It sucks.
I miss the
real
fail
bad.
whale.
It's real bad. I got to the link just fine, but the timing was really weird. The timing was real weird.
It is funny that almost every single Tesla is being recalled.
Yeah, that's not good.
It's bad. And Miles Klee, I think, had a piece that he just wrote for the Rolling Stone. Former guest, probably a guest again of the show.
If we play our cards right,
I gotta keep watching The Sopranos.
Exactly.
He, I think, just published a piece about how Tesla owners are mad that Tesla wants to make their cars more safe.
Is that it? Is that
That's
why
it?
they're
The
mad?
Tesla drivers are mad that the government wants their cars to be more
God
safe.
forbid.
Which
Fuck.
is incredible fucking. That sounds like every Tesla owner I've ever known.
It sounds like a joke. It sounds like the beginning of and Tesla owners do it. No, it's probably real.
And I've been in a Tesla and I've watched someone do autopilot.
Yeah.
It's not that impressive. It actually kind of sucks.
Right.
Like you look around the build quality of an interior of a Tesla.
Yeah.
Particularly a Model 3.
Yeah.
And I think about like the shitbox Nissan my dad bought in the early 90s just so like my sister would have something.
Yeah.
Each door probably weighed 5 pounds. Like just like nothing to it. That's how a Tesla feels. But the thing is, like, a Tesla is like is an expensive ass car.
I was gonna say, yeah.
And it's also so poorly engineered that it's not light like that. But like when you close a door, it feels like empty. Like it is not a well built or well engineered vehicle. But I was like thinking before I came over here, because I saw that Miles posted this on Twitter. And I was thinking like the only reason I would want autopilot in a Tesla is like to do something that is otherwise very hard to do in a car while driving, while actually, with a hand on the steering wheel. And I was thinking, like, you know what? I would totally be down with autopilot if it also meant that my car had like its own built-in like rotating kebab. I was just like thinking that would be so I could just like shave off some meat
and a little pita warmer on the right side. Yeah,
exactly. Like that would be like.
But then you got to start thinking about tzatziki dispenser and all of the,
keep it simple at first. The first generation of this technology. Let's not get too ambitious here.
Sure.
But I was just thinking like rotating kebab meat. Yeah, the pita warmer.
Yeah.
Instead of the lighter.
I could get behind that.
But this is just like to be like, look, my car, like I don't have to touch the wheel.
Right.
And like, and you're still going to like be going slow in the left lane.
Or you're going to like run over someone's dog.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not good. Immediately my mind went to, well, you got to have full self-driving if you want to get sucked off in your car. But that's just because... Why else would you buy an expensive car if not to show it off and also to then get sucked off?
That's like a genre of porn on Pornhub.
Oh, no, I'm aware. You don't have to tell me.
The first car for sucking dick.
Yeah, you could get an endorsement from like, I don't know, Riley Reid or somebody. Just like really
Lisa
good.
Ann.
Samantha
38G.
That's a deep cut, boy.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Well, speaking of porno, Twitch has been cracking down on porno.
Or what it thinks is porno.
Yeah, what it thinks is porno. That's what really fucks me up. So this courtesy of Dexerto, who I don't usually read, but I saw this video. I follow them on Twitter. And Morgapie is one of these Twitch streamers who does what they refer to as the topless meta. If you're not familiar with Twitch terminology, people who stream on Twitch often refer to the ways to get money or the ways to get views or the ways to get streams as the meta game, because it's you're kind of gaming the system. And so there was the hot tub meta like a year or two ago. There was a few other metas that they were referring to. Well, this new meta is essentially you're wearing a tube top, but your angles are just right.
Right.
So it appears you're topless.
It's like you're bare-chested, yeah.
Yeah. Well, according to Morgpie, who was banned for the practice, she doesn't actually do topless on this. And we can see from this 48-second video here.
And pants.
Hip hugger jeans, but still. Virginia Glaze at Dexterdo continuing on in this particular article. The new meta is taking over Twitch, which, again, I referenced it. This recent strat shows female streamers seemingly topless with the camera cutting off, right? The topless meta was recently popularized by this user, Morgpie. She was banned, and then the message is this channel is currently unavailable to a violation of community guidelines or terms of service. So it doesn't list what specifically she did wrong. Of course, community guidelines prohibit female presenting individuals from showing breasts with exposed nipples unless they're breastfeeding. Which I feel
weird.
Like
that feels like a
exploited. Yeah,
Ray Smuckles write this.
Unless they're sitting on a cake, a lap dance is not.
Yeah. Man, dog, is this what's going on? Because that's exactly what I'm seeing here.
Here's another video courtesy of Dexerdo. They're saying, what's going on at Twitch? If she's not topless in this video, it is a very, very, very low cut tube top. I will give you that, because definitely there's a bounce happening. She's got her hands behind her head.
That's
and maybe even pasties. You know what I mean? Like there might not even be a risk of an exposed nipple, but the point is that like it looks enough like it to where I can kind of see what Twitch is talking about.
Sure,
but also like it's fine if you're an adults only streamer. I don't know. It feels weird. It feels like the TikTok thing where people have to avoid saying certain things.
Yeah, or like how Nick Mullen.
Only
got banned. He was like, "What if I only do one eye?" And
Okay, for the people at home, explain that one because I don't even remember the full context.
So Nick Mullen, notorious funny man, Nick Mullen had his comedy special, "Year of the Dragon."
Year of the Dragon,
fantastic.
Yes,
the bit about the no tuck.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah,
yeah. Because I also had the thought about like, well, who's bragging?
Yeah.
Or I guess it's not no tuck, but like a tuck.
It's the bikini bottoms made for tucking, so it's got like a tuck.
Exactly, but like something. I wouldn't have that problem.
No.
Jesus Christ. Anyways,
me neither is what I was gonna say. I was coming back with solidarity, but you jumped the gun a bit.
Gosh, anyway, so Nick Mullen, he had a TikTok account for a while, and apparently was constantly getting his stuff taken down. And one of them was putting his fingers at the outside edge of his eyes and pushing upward and back. Which some people might say is offensive to certain folks on the other side of the world. And so when he was allowed to post again on TikTok, he did one where he's just like is looking at the camera and goes, "What if I just did one?"
Thankfully, I saw that before it was taken down because I followed him on TikTok as well.
The TikTok compilation YouTubes are great. The Vine ones are also some of my favorites.
I never knew he did anything on Vine.
We'll have to take a look at it after the. Yeah, I mean, like this video you're showing here, like if she's wearing like a tube top or like a.
For science, I'm going to play it again because.
For science,
yes. For science, because there's Well, look, she's a well-endowed woman. That's number one.
She's very chesty.
Yes, voluptuous, Rubenesque.
Rubenesque, like the sandwich.
Yes, she's got Thousand Island everywhere. But yeah, I mean, it looks like she's kind of oiled up, and then she putting the hands behind the head and then bouncing left and right is definitely what that's supposed to look like or mean,
Not prude here, but like I feel like with how aggressive these platforms can be with censorship for things. I feel like putting the hands behind your back or behind your head and jiggling is, oh man, that really is skirting the line.
Yeah, she's going up to the line and figuring out what it is, and apparently she fucked around and found out and got a ban. So while it might be titillating, she's right. There's no nudity in it. You know what I mean? Like it's implied.
It's really, in all the grand scheme of things, not that bad. If there's any way to find it objectionable, like considering the things I've seen on Twitch,
right,
or heard about being on Twitch, like this is pretty
tame.
She didn't say like and subscribe to PewDiePie before lighting up a synagogue.
Right.
With implied nudity.
Yeah. That would have gotten her a ban for sure. For me, it was like, okay, hot tubs and beaches, which people took to the extreme, by the way.
I thought that was actually kind of funny how far some people would take it.
They have like inflatable kiddie pools and be like, no, it's the hot tub med, I swear. And just going a little bonkers about it. And look, boobs are going to sell. That's just the truth of the matter.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it is a platform where you're going to come right up to the line. It's going to happen. Here on Twitter, artistic nudity is trending. Yes, exactly. It's definitely an art form to avoid the censorship and still do what you're doing. I got no problem with it.
Yeah, it's whatever, man. Like, consenting adults and free association or whatever. Like, God, it's just like in the scheme of things of what can be found on the internet, that's so tame. She's not even like crushing like a bird or anything.
She's not lighting a kitten on fire.
She's not puking into a sundae glass.
Exactly.
Putting in a scoop of vanilla.
Right.
And then eating the slurry with a spoon. Like.
Sorry, that image is because didn't we do one of those for a chocolate? Okay,
the human
milkshake or whatever,
or the human smoothie.
Yeah.
That was pretty good.
All
right, so the artificially produced broccoli. I'm Bill Gates.
Yeah, so
you're gonna eat the twitching broccoli and you're gonna love it and you're gonna own nothing.
Eat the bugs and yada yada yada. Yeah.
Eat the twitching broccoli.
So I found this one in the wild. This is a verified user on Twitter, which again doesn't mean anything nowadays. It just means that guy has $8. The user Jack Straw at Jack STR and then a bunch of numbers. So you already know quality content incoming. So the tweet is Bill Gates' artificial products. Broccoli, an artificial plant produced in laboratories. It is one of the products that Bill Gates calls healthy. And attached to this is a video of what appears to be a floret of broccoli twitching.
Like one of those soda cans you would see at Sears in like the early 90s.
Dancing to...
Yeah.
And it's just...
No.
I feel good. Yeah.
The professor said, don't let soccer mommy get a boner.
I did a little research and I found out that this wasn't just somebody fear-mongering. This actually is an art project from someone who goes by the name Providing for the Community at Providing for TH1. This is one of their videos, and it's a fake, obviously. It's a bit of an art project. They got this little broccoli wiggling like a little worm. Russell
Cameron,
thank you. I got my glasses on and everything. And yeah, it's this looping video of someone injecting something into a piece of broccoli and the broccoli freaking the fuck out. Some paranoid, conspiracy-minded person immediately went, "Oh yeah, that's what Bill Gates wants you to eat forever."
Yeah.
How do you get from one to the? Because like the video has the at Providing for the Community user embedded in the video. A simple look at what you're sourcing would tell you that this is bullshit. This is an art project. Somebody's fucking around with you.
I think this individual here, this Jack Straw, is maybe being disingenuous.
You'd think?
Yeah, maybe.
You think someone is going to go on Twitter and lie?
I know it's a real dark thought, but I'm a pretty dark person.
Unheard of.
I'm pretty twisted.
At the time that I took the screenshot, which was earlier, a couple days back, it was sitting at 2,000 reposts, 991 quotes, most of them dunking, but 4,611 likes and 1,500 bookmarks.
For the perverts.
I want to see that broccoli wiggling. Show it to me.
I want people to know that I liked it.
Right. I want to be able to pull that up privately later. Yeah.
Some culture.
This one was fun. I came across this just purely at random. Apparently this happened a couple months ago, but I didn't see this. This was back in February that this came out. February 21st, YouTube main post posted a video of a Catholic priest wearing a baseball cap and a gold chain rapping during a church service. This according to Know Your Meme and their article under German priest rap. The tweet I saw this week was, "Me, German priest, you have to stop. You smoke too much. Your swag too different. Your bitch too bad. They'll kill you. German priest."
Bunt gemischt ist unsere Kirche, ey, das ist voll fett. Schlecht scheint zwar der Ruf von Kirche, doch hier sind sie nett. Mancher schimpft und klagt und findet Kirche voll daneben und will sich den frommen Schein darum auch gar nicht geben. Oberflächlich schaut so mancher nur von oben runter. Dabei sind hier in der Kirche alle doch recht munter. Viele sind voll engagiert, nicht bloß hier zum Chillen. Statt Bling Bling lebt mancher seinen Glauben mehr im Stillen. Doch heute wird es laut und dieser Beat verkündet allen: Gott verändert Leben und das soll ganz laut erschallen.
So we're supposed to put who where? Oh man, that sounds 1,000 years you said.
Yeah. I had a translation of it somewhere. But it's essentially saying that, like, it doesn't matter how we deliver the sermon, we could do it in a rap.
It's not terrible.
No, and he got a good beat. He's definitely flowing like a maniac. I'm really enjoying the German priest rapping. A lot of people on Twitter apparently are too. So there's.
I like how interest over time apparently.
Yeah.
Go back down there.
Yeah.
Apparently in early 2004.
Oh yeah, there must have been some other German priest rapping.
German priest rap.
Okay, now
maybe it was people in Germany really getting into the rap of Kill a Priest.
Oh man, that'd be fun. That's the first result is for a German band called Umf, and their single Augen auf, Eyes Open, an industrial band. The first release under the Gun label. Nothing about priests in here. Okay, well, anyway.
Anyways, what we got next? The German priest. Wow, that was wacky.
Kind of a twofer here. Ads on Twitter are going fucking crazy. So this one is no_goblins. Taddy Mason posting this. Just got this ad for a device that steals semen from a discarded condom so you can inseminate yourself without your partner's consent. Great website.
Make a Mom is the name of this.
Makeamom.com, right?
Makeamom.com. That's insane.
Yeah.
Boy, I bet the WikiLeaks guy is furious about this.
Oh, I bet.
Did it take you a second?
It took me a second, yeah. So the username in question says, gets you pregnant at Makeamom. And the post is just, don't need permission, made my decision.
This and the silent basketball. Like, see, it's the perfect thing. Like, you buy the silent basketball so he's distracted. And then you get in there like an IDF soldier and jack his sperm.
So apparently this is made specifically for retrieving the sperm from a used condom, as it shows in the little picture here.
The used condom looks like a piece of French vanilla ice cream.
The used condom is sitting on top of like a towel or something.
Oh, okay. I understand it now.
Yeah.
This is very abstract.
It's a screenshot and it's also kind of blurry. But yeah, you don't need his permission. All right. Cool.
That's why I would only swallow mine like I was a drug mule. I'm not letting my seed go anywhere I don't need it to.
One of the comments here is at City G. This is why I always run outside immediately after and bury mine like a dog.
Amazing.
Well, and then we got another ad. This one here. Rob Den Blaker,
co-creator of Cyanide and Happiness.
Okay. He posted this. The user at Bate World, BATE World, tired of cutting holes in your pants? These jackin' joggers have a zipper specifically built for jackin'. Comfortable, convenient, covert jack-off pants. Hashtag JO pants.
JO pants.
It's like the JO Crystal. You got to charge them up. And then jopants.com. So
go away. I'm baiting.
Yeah. yeah. Bait World.
When listen, when you feel like you're not getting kicked off that public bus quick enough,
you got to hurry it up. Yeah. It's
fucking when people know this, hey, this motherfucker's got to get off this.
Yeah.
I don't care about being late to work. This guy, I cannot have him on the bus.
Get him out of here. Yeah. Well, and the last thing I got for you, Brian. At Dajjal_gaming, the Kyrgyzstan Liberation Front, I don't even know how to pronounce that, I'm not going to try, found out an IDF veteran from Long Beach who named himself Barack Obama Mandela and is running for Senate as a Republican. He also wrote this book, which is probably the greatest work of fiction from the 21st century. The title of the book, Brian?
Black Hitler.
Black Hitler.
Kobe LeBron Goebbels conquers America. And so on the left here, below the title, there is an American flag with swastika stars in the shape of a swastika.
Right.
And on the right is in like the German eagle, the the thing on top of the Reichstag.
Right.
And then the middle is a very poorly edited image of a African American man who may or may not be Denzel Washington. With a AR-15 in a suit.
And then down below, under the author's name, again, Barack Obama Mandela, this is a collection of 5 books carefully packaged together. The Prince of Auschwitz, Songs of Anne Frank and Me, that's 1 book. Black Diagnostic and Statistic Manual of Mental Disorders, The Black DSM. That's 2. 3rd book, Birth of the Black Eminem, Greatest Rapper Alive. And the 4th book, The Immaculate Collection, Assorted Writings of a Creative Soul. Which I think Immaculate Collection, isn't that a Madonna? Didn't they? It was a compilation
like
album.
That.
Yeah.
That's just, there's a lot going on
a lot
here.
happening. And they said 5 books, unless Prince of Auschwitz and then Songs of Anne Frank and Me are 2 different books, which it looks like it actually might be. Because I thought Prince of Auschwitz was, and then it was Songs of Anne Frank and Me.
Yeah, because that really sounds like a much more interesting.
That would definitely be a bit more interesting book. But yeah, the Black DSM.
I'm so curious what this stuff is like.
I do kind of want to read it. Yeah. Kobe LeBron Goebbels Conquers America is a fucking banger of a subtitle, no matter what the title of your book is. I don't care what actually is in the book.
Well, I guess, you know what? Actually, we figured this out. I think it really is the Prince of Auschwitz, Songs of Anne Frank and Me, because wouldn't the first piece be Black Hitler?
Black Hitler, Kobe LeBron Goebbels Conquers America. That's book 1.
I still think the Prince of Auschwitz, Songs of Anne Frank and Me, that feels like a mindless self-indulgence song.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Or maybe like the Left Rights.
Yeah, well, that's probably closer to it's probably closer to true, but fuck. I've looked at this a couple different times today, and I find something new every time I look at it.
Yeah, it's like a magic eye.
Tapestries of wonders.
All right.
Time for the crypto scam.
So now we're talking about the real Black M&M. There we go.
Now we're talking about the real Black M&M. That's right. It's crypto scam of the week time.
You're listening to 48 Minutes of Dogs Barking, the podcast.
And now it's time for the crypto scam of the week.
Well, we talked about CZ.
Mm-hmm. He can't leave. CZ no leave.
CZ is stuck here. Yeah. CZ's not going anywhere. He wanted to go to the UAE, but no. Seattle said no. And then Montenegro said, Do Kwon, you got to go back to the U.S. for extradition. That's right. Cointelegraph reporting here. CZ must stay Do Kwon to be extradited. CZ's stuck in the States till February, right? Because he's a flight risk.
Mm-hmm.
And then Letitia Jones, we've referenced her before, accepted CZ's plea on 1 count of Bank Secrecy Act violations, which that was about 2 weeks ago. And then he agreed to the $4.3 billion settlement with the U.S. agencies. And now he might be going to jail for about 1.5 years, 18 months, it says. And then it says, meanwhile, Terraform Labs co-founder and former CEO Do Kwon might be extradited to the United States. So this isn't set in stone, but it feels like it's right. So the Minister of Justice in Montenegro basically said, yeah, U.S. wants to extradite this guy. Sure, we're going to go ahead. So he was arrested in Montenegro back in March, and I think we covered it on this show, and sentenced to 4 months in prison for using falsified travel documents. But then the U.S. charged him, South Korea charged him. All this stuff about Terraform Labs kind of is coming back to bite him. So we'll see what happens to Do Kwon. Wall Street Journal even got in on this. Yeah, so Montenegro's top justice official has privately said he plans to send Do Kwon to the U.S. rather than South Korea to face criminal charges. Both U.S. and South Korea want him. They want him so fucking bad. and it was Terra USD and Luna. Wasn't that the big thing for them?
Yep, $40 billion crash. That's so amazing.
Ooh, boy.
That's so much fucking money.
That's a lot of money. It's almost as much as Elon paid for Twitter. Just shy. Yeah,
that's one
40.
Twitter.
Yeah, your one Twitter's
40
worth.
billion or about one Twitter?
Yeah, that's our current unit of measure. We're going to call it a
crow flies, you know?
yeah. We're gonna go one Twitter as far as that goes.
Damn it, Bobby! Don't enter your seed phase on that website.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care what Joseph said.
That's very smart, Hank. So aside from the Do Kwon news, we also had yet another piece of NFT nonsense come up with. That's right, folks. Donald Trump. Yeah, baby.
This is amazing here on CoinDesk by
Christian Sandor.
Man,
yeah,
that's
I know.
interesting
It's the
term.
SZT really fucks you up.
It's just
Christian.
Makes you go cross-eyed. But anyways, K. Sandor.
Yeah, thank you.
The headline here: Donald Trump unveils new mugshot NFT, stirring up prices for his previous NFTs.
Yeah, because we covered this when it first came out. He was going to do the trading cards. That was the big thing.
And so what was really killing me here is buy enough of them, and you can get a piece of the suit the former U.S. president wore when he arrested in August. President wore when he was arrested. Wow, someone needs to go over that a second. When he was arrested in August, it was like, what is this, like one of like Ric Flair's robes?
Yeah. So if you remember last time, they had a really low price floor. They started at like $99. They had a limited number of them, the usual shit.
Just really fucking low effort shit too.
Yeah,
which is what's to be expected. But like, there's a certain like most NFTs are bad projects. But every once in a while, you'll see one like this where you're just like, man, he just didn't fucking try.
The art's bad and everything's bad, and it's supporting a bad guy, and it's just kind of like everything from the top to bottom is just bullshit.
It's piss.
Yeah, according to CoinDesk. Donald Trump announced a new $99 NFT collection, the Mugshot Edition, a nod to the former U.S. president's legal troubles that stirred up prices for the non-fungible tokens he'd already issued. Those who buy 47 Trump cards, if we're doing the math here, it's $4,700. If elected next year, Trump would be the 47th U.S. president or more, will get to have dinner at Mar-a-Lago with the former president and, like you said, receive a piece of the suit Trump wore for his mugshot from when he was arrested in August. NFT Project quoted here, in this edition, some cards will even be one of ones, the only one in the world, while some others could even be hand-signed by Donald J. Trump. It's an NFT. How is it hand-signed?
Oh, yes. It is a good question. I mean, it's probably like hand-signed in like the most like kind of trivial way where it's probably just like his signature is placed on it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or unless there's like something where like you can, because there were some NFT projects where if you had something, you could get something in the physical world.
Yeah.
Previously issued Trump NFTs flipped as low as 1 ETH, half the 0.2 ETH price they traded before the announcement.
Right.
But floor prices then rebounded to about 1.8 ETH, according to data by NFT marketplace OpenSea.
Which we know OpenSea is full of shit to begin with.
Sure, but you couldn't even, it was not even a full 2x.
No.
There's probably some guy out there being like, I swept the floor for what here?
Yeah.
So that's about $300
Yeah.
right now, I think. Yeah.
So apparently, again, Nick Baker editing, Christian writing, Trump held $2.8 million in a crypto wallet as of early August, earned from NFT sales, according to ethics watchdog Citizens for Responsibility and Ethics in Washington.
He's just waiting for Ethereum to go to 10K.
You think? You think that's... Yeah. I don't think he's smart enough for that. He's just like, what is it? What? Okay, sure. Yeah, sure.
Supposed to long here?
I mean, sure, he might know the lingo like when it comes to like real estate, but this just, I'm sure it just kind of like, he's like a...
Yeah, you can get money from guys that put baby batter in their pants. Yeah. The guys that buy sweatpants so you can jerk off. Who needs that?
Exactly.
Just put your dick over the band like everyone else, buddy.
Or through the zipper. There's really no reason. Anyway,
that's disgraceful.
I know you've said that, but again, there are times when it needs must. Literally different strokes on this one, but
jeez, we need to get Michael Hale on here for talking about advanced JO techniques.
The forensic analysis of everyone's individual JO techniques. But speaking of jackoffs, Donald Trump, what a jackoff. I don't think he knows enough about this stuff. I think really this feels like some staffer who's just like...
we could probably make a couple mil here.
Right. And 2.5 at least, you know. Fuck you, Donald Trump.
So when you sent me this, you told me one red paper clip. And didn't give me any other context. I'm like, so I'm sitting here thinking like, oh, is this like a shot.jpg or something?
Right.
Like, what's one red paper clip? And I'm just like thinking like some guy torturing his nuts or putting, or he takes a paper clip, or he walks up to the screen.
Yeah.
And he's got the divorce paperwork.
Okay.
And on the divorce paperwork, the thing keeping it all together is one red paper clip.
Okay.
And he carefully unfolds the paperclip till it's a straight line, and then he inserts it into his piss hole.
Oh, he's sounding with it. Yeah.
Like, and then he accidentally sends that to the wrong lawyer. And,
Perfect.
That's how it got around.
That honestly would probably be a better story.
That's my mental image.
Okay, that probably would be a better story than what actually happened. Now, one red paperclip was it was a fun, goofy one. It was something there was a website by this Canadian guy named Kyle McDonald, who I was like, is that a member of Kids in the Hall? No, that's not a member, because that's Scott McDonald. That's not even right. Scott Thompson. One of them's McDonald. Kevin McDonald. Thank you. Jeez. His whole idea was based on a childhood game that he played as a young man called Bigger, Better. And the idea being that you would start with something small and that you would trade your way up to something big. Now, he didn't expect it to be a whole big thing. It was just a small blog. I think it was even like one of those blog spot ones. It was 2005, so I mean that tracks as far as like the time goes. Here's the full story, courtesy of the archive.org link from the townofkipling.ca. On July 12, 2005, while living in Montreal, Kyle McDonald launched an unlikely sequence of online trades, which would earn both him and Kipling places in the Guinness Book of World Records. Starting with a single red paperclip, the young entrepreneur began trading up. The paperclip for a fish-shaped pen, the pen for a unique doorknob, and the doorknob for a camp stove. This he swapped for a generator, which was subsequently traded for a keg party. Ensuing trades were a snowmobile, a snowmobiling adventure to Yacht, British Columbia, a cube van, a recording contract, a year's condo rental in Phoenix, Arizona, and then for a day with Alice Cooper. The entrepreneur next arranged for a double switch with actor-director Corbin Burnson, an avid collector, who agreed to accept a Kiss snow globe in exchange for a role in a Hollywood movie. The movie was offered to Burt Roach, Kipling's economic development officer, who then proposed to the council that an offer be made. He traded a house at 503 Main Street in exchange for the movie role. That final trade, July 12th, 2006, exactly 1 year after Kyle McDonald had begun his world record trade sequence with a single red paperclip. The house itself referred to as the Red Paperclip House. Kipling also erected the world's largest red paperclip, which was unveiled a year after that, July 12th, 2007. All of this was documented, by the way, not just by the city of Kipling here in this article, but also Kyle McDonald went on to do TED Talks and whatnots, but he also did a website.
And the follow-up, what if you could trade money for sex?
Yeah.
God damn, he's brilliant.
Yeah.
Man's a genius.
It does feel like at some point there must have been some offer made to like bone down somebody, and you're like, I'm not taking that offer. I'm looking for something better. It's still up. You can still go there, oneredpaperclip.blogspot.com.
Feels like something Orson Welles would have done. What if I told you I could take one paperclip?
Yeah.
I could make the world spin.
So his goal was he's going to do a continuous chain of uptrades until he gets a house or an island or a house on an island. He got a call from somebody in Vancouver. Here, we'll do the fish pen. I'm pumped on having the pen, but in the name of the game, it's got to go. Not a bad pen. The pen looks like a sturgeon.
Yeah.
It's a nice little pen.
It's not too bad.
But yeah, it's a series of trades, and I'm really most interested in the one that wound up with a day to hang out with Alice Cooper. That's the one. I'm going to click through a couple of these because the fish pen.
One doorknob?
Yeah, that was the doorknob. Okay, so they went down to Seattle to get this doorknob that looks like a dude's face. That's what it looks like.
Amazing.
All right. It's just it's like that Nirvana shirt, which is like the goofy smiley face. Okay. This is when he really starts getting into the whole blogging part of it, because it's just
There's a lot of text
it's
here.
a lot of text. But yeah, apparently this guy in Massachusetts was a Craigslist personality. Sean is a legend. He traded a used laptop bought for $500 at Best Buy for his 1993 Chevy Blazer. So apparently these trading guys like know each other and kind of talk to each other. He was nice enough to up the ante and hook him up with a barbecue, a little Coleman, the camping barbecue. You're familiar with these? Have a little gas can on the side there.
Yeah.
Yeah, real nice little item. Not bad. We're only 3 trades in.
Everyone's middle-aged parents have that in their basement. This exact Coleman.
Exactly.
They use it exactly twice.
Yep.
And decide, fuck this camping shit.
Yeah. I think I still have mine, though. So, I had that exact same one. So, yeah, let's see here. He went to the Camp Pendleton Marine Corps base between L.A. and San Diego near the Dolly Partons on I-5 to meet David, the first sergeant to get in on the training base. So he was invited onto a military base, and he got a generator for that camping stove. Yowza.
It's not bad.
I mean, it's a Honda generator.
Yeah.
Pretty decent looking condition, again, in 2005. Here we go. One instant party. Marson gave me an offer for the red generator I couldn't refuse. 1 beer keg, 1 neon Budweiser sign, and 1 IOU for a keg's worth of beer. An IOU for a keg's worth of beer? You better be including that beer if I'm giving you a generator. Come on, man.
I guess it's just so like, here, cash this in when you need me to drop it off.
I guess. Yeah, he said a major precedent for all future trades. He traded an IOU worth exactly 1 keg of beer. That means whoever gets 1 instant party will have the keg filled with the beer of their choice, courtesy of Marson. An IOU for beer is a liquid asset on so many levels. Yeah, all right. Okay, before anyone out there says it, this is what I was saying earlier. I'll say it myself. The items that make up 1 instant party are probably not worth as much as 1 red generator. Marson got an awesome deal. But remember, this is not eBay. I'm not here to sell. I'm here to barter. And fun is priceless. So he spray painted the keg red. And the big sign that just says IOU, keg full of beer. And then moved on. Oh no. The other night after I realized the red generator was confiscated by the fire department in New York, I had a revelation. Oh, wow. I fully expected I was going to be hit with a $500 NYC bylaw fine for a serious offense like causing a fire hazard. The generator was not an asset, it was a liability. And then he goes on to define paradigm shift. Great. I don't know what paradigm shift is. Just he starts to really, really write.
He's liking the words.
Oh, yeah.
So what the fuck did he do with the generator? Did he like turn it on inside a hotel?
He must have done something really stupid with it. Yeah, because it wound up getting confiscated. But it was out of his possession at the time. So I think the trade was still legit. Yeah, so he traded the 1 instant party for a snowmobile. You got an offer from Michael Barrette. Apparently, he was a famous guy in Quebec. Oh. So, yeah, he was a host of a talk show in Montreal. Turned out he was on the air right then. Turned out I called him up right away and accepted the trade. Turned out when he came back on the air after the commercial break, he talked about the project and announced to all of Montreal that he just made a trade with the paperclip guy. So then this is where it really starts to pick up, because then he gets the CBC, of course, the National Canada Broadcasting Company, Global TV, that's another Canada-based broadcaster. He starts getting things with CNN, and yeah, all for this snowmobile. If you're from Quebec, if you're in Montreal, nice thing to have. A little Ski-Doo snowmobile.
Yeah.
Not too bad. Looks nice. It's a Mach 1. Pretty good.
Gosh, you just got a couple of Molsons on there. And,
sure. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I imagine after he got the press, it's going to be
a lot easier.
Yeah. So he traded the snowmobile for a trip to Yak. Yak is a place in British Columbia.
I've heard.
You've heard?
Yeah.
Yeah? Oh, great.
Oh, yeah.
Dear citizens of Yak, on December 5th, 2005, CBC anchorman and body-piercing fanatic George I don't even know how to say that name. That's not Stephanopoulos. That's
Strombolopoulos?
That is like the most Polish name I've ever heard. George Strombolopoulos.
I don't even let that man near a light bulb.
No. He said he was asked if there was any place I would not go to make a trade. For some strange reason, I told him I would go anywhere on earth to make a trade except Yacht, British Columbia. Don't get mad at me for this. Get mad at the presenter. Why? I think he hypnotized me with a double win. Okay, so he's basically riffing on the fact that despite saying he would not go to Yacht, British Columbia, that was what he was offered on his next trade. So he then took the snowmobile up to Yacht, traded that trip for a Cintas Cube van. Cube van is a moving van. It's a van. 1995. Okay, 203,688 miles.
That's not too bad.
7.3 liter diesel. The box is 16 feet. Okay. Yeah.
There's worse moves you can make.
I mean, really, it's a pretty useful thing. He decided that he was going to trade that in for a recording contract. 30 hours of recording time, 50 hours of mixing and post, transportation to/from Toronto from anywhere in the world, accommodations in Toronto, and your album will be pitched to executives at Sony BMG and XM Radio, which 2005 is still relatively new. Yeah, he had to sign a contract. Let's see here. March 2006, which is where they were at this point. Okay, so they traded the recording contract for a year in Phoenix. A year of free rent in the heart of downtown Phoenix. A round-trip airfare for two from any major airport in North America. Nice little apartment building. Nice little place.
Yeah.
It looked like a duplex, but yeah, I mean, it's got a fireplace and a kitchen. And
Yeah, it doesn't seem too bad.
yeah. I say, did I stay in Phoenix for a year or trade it away? Click here to find out. Oh, boy, Brian, what do you think he did with it?
He got a gun. That's how he got. Whoa! So that's how he got the afternoon with Alice Cooper. He traded it for a gun.
It was an M60. The person who lives on the other half of Jody Nat's duplex in Phoenix is Leslie. Leslie works at Alice Cooper's restaurant in Phoenix, Alice Cooperstown. Okay. She asked Alice Cooper if he would help her get rent free for 1 year. She told him her idea. Alice Cooper listened. He was honored to help out and jumped at the chance. This is how it played out. Alice Cooper agreed to spend the afternoon with the fans so that Leslie can get 1 year of free rent. So, one afternoon with Alice Cooper includes one afternoon with Alice Cooper. One of a variety of activities: golfing, songwriting, jamming, hanging out, dining. Alice's courtesy laughs that you're clever, we're not worthy. Sky's the limit. Here's Alice at the Cooperstown in Phoenix. But hey, he got her a year of free rent. Oh yeah, and there's a mock-up of Alice Cooper holding the big red paperclip on stage with Kyle.
That's pretty awesome, actually.
That's a great picture. I love that.
That's great.
Thanks to the combined force of a packed Fargo house and Alice Cooper for making one red paperclip rock harder than any of us ever imagined. A balloon was filled with blood. It exploded all over the crowd. I never saw it coming. I then got hosed off stage by a giant stream of blood. The giant red paperclip got ripped to shreds by the crowd. 2020 from ABC caught the whole thing on tape. Oh yeah, there he is, cool. covered in fake blood, being strangled backstage by Alice Cooper. It's an afternoon with Alice Cooper. You've already hung out with him at the show, I guess, but he says he traded it for one Kiss snow globe. Mark Herman of Villa Hills, Kentucky, Greater Cincinnati, is the lucky dude who now has one afternoon with Alice Cooper. Mark's an awesome guy who was realizing his dream of becoming a rock and roll photographer.
Interesting.
He's a huge Alice Cooper fan and an encyclopedia.
I photographed Alice Cooper. He was really fun.
Oh, I'm sure.
It was just like it's fucking Alice Cooper, and like
yeah,
too many guys playing guitar, but whatever. It's
right.
Alice fucking Cooper. I think it was Blue Oyster Cult.
Oh, nice.
Or Deep Purple.
One of the two, sure.
I think it was Deep Purple was the other band on this tour.
Yeah.
Deep Purple was the Rod Stewart joke from South Park, basically.
I don't remember that.
You don't remember? It's the Y2K episode where it's just like the corniest is, hey, everyone, it's Rob Stewart. It's just like the old guys poops them.
Oh, okay.
You don't-
No, I don't. I don't remember that one at all.
Jeez.
It's been a long... Well, again, my relationship with South Park is tenuous at best. But yeah, they were just old and out of it, huh? I pooped them.
I don't want to get off on too much of a tangent.
Oh, please,
here,
go ahead.
Being in the faux pit, sometimes you can hear instruments, particularly guitar and bass, outside of the mix.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And I just remember the bass player. I got to hear his raw bass sound before it went through the PA.
Oh boy.
And it was one of the worst things I've ever heard in my life. Just
Oh,
like
no.
lifeless. And it was like one of those things where, like, is there a doubling track going on or something? Like,
They
is
might
this
have had
not going
something
through the house mix?
They might have had something to sweeten it, yeah, or there's somebody
It just
behind the
It just
stage.
sounded like, and I knew someone that was also in, like, they call the orchestra pit at the venue, Riverport, that was there. And he was like, yeah, I was like right behind you. I saw you. And like, yes, we could also hear like the raw bass before it went through the house mix.
Okay.
It also sounded like a diaper getting stepped on. I'm
So
like,
it wasn't you. It wasn't
yeah,
just
no,
you.
it was just one of those things where, like, wow, I mean, rock and roll is dead.
Well, if you're that old, I mean, Jesus. But so he traded this afternoon with Alice Cooper for,
A motorized Kiss snow globe.
yeah. I don't know. I don't know how that came to be. I know it was the photographer who really wanted the afternoon with Alice Cooper, and that was all the photographer had to give him. Then, from the Kiss snow globe,
Another gun.
it's a AK-47 this time. Corbin Burnson traded for the Kiss snow globe a role in a movie. So apparently, this is something I didn't know until just today. Apparently, Corbin Burnson happens to have a very large snow globe collection. And this Kiss snow globe was something that he wanted. So he traded away a movie role which was listed as one paid credited speaking role in a film by Public Media Works, room and board during filming, return airfare, a high five from me, and if you're lucky, Corbin Burnson himself. Let's see here. I will take a picture that includes Corbin, myself, and the Kiss snow globe. I will then make hundreds of copies of these pictures. These pictures will be individually autographed by myself, Corbin Burnson, and the Kiss snow globe. Not sure how the Kiss snow globe is going to autograph the picture. There's only one way to get your hands on the photograph. This was a thing you could do. You could send a letter to the Corbin Burnson Kiss Snow Globe Army World Headquarters in California.
That's amazing. As of November 4th, 2010,
Yeah.
the deal is still active. I don't think it's still going.
4 or 5 years later, that they still had enough of these
Amazing.
photos. All right, so then from that film role that he got from Corbin Burnson,
He got the house.
he got the house
Oh my God.
in Kipling,
What's the deal with white women
Saskatchewan.
fucking dogs?
503 Main Street, Kipling, Saskatchewan, Canada. They gave him a house.
Lovely.
The trade offer went something like this, and this is a quote from that. Kyle, the town of Kipling, Saskatchewan wants to complete your quest for a house. The mayor and town council, with the support of the employees and residents of the town of Kipling, have an offer for you. We know you'll say yes. And here it is. It's a really decent-looking little white house. As a new resident, you'll receive a community welcome package. Okay. $200 in Kipling cash. This cash can be spent at any local Chamber of Commerce business, a key to the town, honorary mayor for a day, honorary lifelong citizen of the town. The day we make the trade will be decreed one red paperclip day by the town council, and everyone will be encouraged to wear a red paperclip in honor of your achievements. We will build the world's largest red paperclip in dedication to you, and most importantly, we will trade to you a house. So built in the 20s, recently renovated, 1,100 square feet, 2 floors, 3 bedrooms, 1.5 bath, kitchen, living room, dining room. Okay, new roof.
Yeah.
Okay.
Quite psych.
Yeah, pretty nice.
Oh there, Boyle. Sounds like you got yourself a house there, eh?
Exactly. Kipling set up American Idol style auditions for the role in the film. A guy named Nolan Hubbard was the lucky winner. Dom and I moved into the house over Labor Day weekend, and the town of Kipling threw, quote, Saskatchewan's biggest housewarming party ever. 11 of the 14 people he traded with made it to Kipling, and 3,500 other friends, family, strangers, and new friends. And here's some more pictures of that. And that led to the rest of it. He wrote a book called One Red Paperclip, where he tries to tell people, it is still available in paperback.
Huh.
Amazon apparently wants me to do a captcha to prove that I'm not some sort of robot. So, okay. But
We've had a lot of bot activity on this particular...
on the One Red Paperclip. Apparently, I don't know if this is still an active phone number, but apparently he does have his phone number on this website. If you want to shoot him a message there, it is still oneredpaperclip.blogspot.com. An inspiring little story. This is one of those early internet things. I always thought it was older than this, but
Yeah.
because it.
I mean, it's about
like,
the same age as Power Book.
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
The paperbacks are going for $10.
Okay. That's
New.
not bad. How many pages is that?
310 pages.
That's a pretty beefy paperback.
And it's in English. And the publication date was August 21st, 2007.
Okay, so about a year after he got the house. Okay.
It was living high on the hog of the red paperclip.
Oh yeah, being treated well by the town of Kipling, Saskatchewan. I really think that like what he said, like once he got the generator or the instant party, I can't remember, but once he got the CBC and all these other press outlets in on it, that's when it really snowballed for him.
Yeah, he got a little push there, which is fine. I mean, I think people wanted to see him get there. Again, that's perfectly fine with me. And even the town of Kipling has a giant red paperclip sculpture, which again, also pretty, you know what? Like, you know, I'm not always a cynical asshole looking to rain on someone's parade. Like, that's pretty neat.
Yeah. About a year after he moved in, that's when they got the paperclip sculpture there. And then apparently there was someone who tried to replicate this in 2020. So Kathy Free, writing for the Washington Post, a guy once swapped a paperclip to get a house. This woman is trying to do the same.
And we're not going to pay to read this article.
No, hold on. Give me 2 seconds. Demi Skipper. She stumbled upon Kyle McDonald's TED Talk, where he did talk about the red paperclip. So then she was like, okay, well, what am I going to do? So she settled on a bobby pin.
Yeah.
Okay, so then she posted a video to TikTok. Thousands of people saw it. Bobby pin went for a pair of pink earrings for a woman in Atlanta. She traded the earrings for a set of 4 margarita glasses for a vacuum cleaner. Trade-ups included a snowboard, an Xbox, a camera, designer Nikes, an iPhone 11, a 2008 Dodge Caravan minivan, a skateboard, an electric bike food cart. The couple with the minivan drove from Minnesota to make the trade because they were so bored in quarantine, said Skipper, adding that the minivan had some mechanical problems. Really? Hold on now. A minivan that you're trading for an iPhone has some problems. Weird.
Well, if the iPhone smells of urine because it's been dropped in the toilet.
See,
we don't know the full thing here. Maybe
We really
the
don't.
iPhone was already compromised.
I would imagine. I think the last thing she traded for was... someone offered me a commercial size donut machine, she said. I have to say I was tempted. I would love to have a lifetime supply of donuts. The last we heard from her, August of 2020, she was in possession of the electric bike cart. And that's apparently where it ended for, because I haven't seen anything else about this young lady. But yeah, someone was inspired by this a couple years later and tried to make it a thing. I wonder if that kind of thing could happen on such a big scale, because I feel like now that it's been done, that people might not cotton to it.
Right,
you know?
right. There's not the same enthusiasm. I think the fact that she was able to make the trades that she has, I think is impressive.
Yeah.
Like, that's actually pretty, like, it's at least, like, seems like a very creative endeavor, and it seems like the sort of thing that someone would do during quarantine.
Right.
Because boy, that was fucking boring.
There were definitely some dark days, and you were looking for any old thing to do, and that was it. So if you have a chance, TEDx Vienna did post the TED Talk. It's about 13 minutes long. Not really a lot that we haven't already covered, but there is a bit towards the end, I'm trying to find it, where they did the auditions for the Corbin Burnson movie. So yeah, he parlayed it into this kind of aspirational, get up and do something kind of positive core thing.
Earth sandwich.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Cheesy, but you know what? It's wholesome.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, it's nice. It gives you some warm fuzzies and a creative thing, and it seems like a really interesting journey. And I imagine the book isn't like a terrible read. Like unless he really sucks at writing, but
That's entirely possible.
But I mean, just kind of skimming through everything he put on the old site, I mean, it looks like he at least knows how to write a narrative and keep it going. So,
and I think part of that just kind of came with, I got to write something now that I've got all these eyes on this thing.
Yeah,
the best way to write is to learn under
duress.
Exactly. All right, Brian, you ready to see something gross?
And now, the moment you've all been waiting for.
Shock.jpg.
What we got? Is it one girl, one paperclip?
No. Close. One girl, one knife, Brian. This courtesy of our good friends over at shocksites.net. One girl, one knife. And their whole house style in making like what looks like either emojis or that Memphis art style for these shock sites is still amusing to me. There's like a girl all bundled up, but she's a happy face, and then there's plus, and then what looks like Rambo's knife, this big fucking knife.
Amazing.
And the site is really just a 25-second video of a woman diddling herself with a steak knife.
Kind of like the knife you use to cut bread.
Yeah, you're right. This is the longer one with the serrated edge, and that's the part that I'm like,
Oh, she's getting really
she's going
almost
deep.
to the hilt.
Yeah, which is again, it's a long knife. It's not, and I'm not seeing any blood, so it's unsettling. It's not super gross, but it's just like. You flinch inside, I guess. So that's what I'm doing. Is I'm doing this like unintentional, like I'm cringing.
I just have so many questions.
Yeah,
it's gross, sure, but what led us here? Like,
yeah, I'm not sure. According to the site itself, their description is: "Welcome to One Girl and One Knife. While we personally do not find this one to be too shocking, X and then in parentheses Twitter has blown up over the past 24 hours with everyone talking about the knife video." So we figured we'd give it a permanent home. So yes, this did come up recently. This is a relatively new site. Shocksites.net was really fast in getting this one up. Yeah, it was this video being passed around Twitter. I can't even really tell from this angle because it's shot. You can really only see the top of her thigh, the exposed knife, the genitals there. And then like the top of the seat she's sitting on. I realized I was way too far back from the microphone. You couldn't hear me. Yeah, it's one of those.
Cutting the bread.
Yeah.
Yes, new euphemism.
That's a new one? Yeah, I think we should.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, if you're going to fuck yourself with a knife, I would think you'd go handle first.
You think?
Just thinking. Just thinking.
But you know what? The world is all about subverting your expectations.
That's true. That's very true.
What if the movie Super 8 was about this? Like, instead of like a monster,
okay,
it's just a person inserting a knife into their genitals.
Well, the second act would be a little weird, I think.
It'd be a little weird.
The government finds out about the footage.
The genital mutilation cave.
Yeah.
We thought this was in Botswana. We were wrong the entire time.
Oh, yeah. I didn't see that movie in so long. God damn.
I only ever think about that movie because I remember people trying to hype it up as being like,
Really?
oh, it's like an old school like monster movie. And I finally, like, it was on like Netflix or something. I watched it. I'm like, man, this is just really the definition of like, it ain't bad.
Yeah, it was a mid-period Spielberg flick. It wasn't like a monster movie. That's why I think people really missed the mark on it. Because it felt like, somewhere between like Close Encounters and E.T., and there was a little bit of like maybe something from some other director who was maybe more into gross shit, but like it was way safer and way more kid friendly. It felt like, what was that other movie, Midnight Special?
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like it had that like we're trying to get the Amblin Entertainment vibe going. Anyway,
I get what you're saying.
Super 8, no,
more like super lame,
super not great,
or super gay.
Hey, indeed. Boy.
Or super bad.
Hey.
That's a movie.
Yeah, it certainly is a movie. I don't know if it's aged all that well though. I haven't watched it recently.
Bad?
I haven't watched it recently, so I wouldn't.
I have a really soft spot for that movie. I got to see
Yeah.
a pre-screener, like on a first date with someone. And,
Okay.
I was like, wow, this movie's great. Like, Michael Cera was great.
Yeah. Jonah Hill.
Jonah Hill. I mean, the Jonah Hill literally is fucking period blood.
Yeah, which is an all-timer as far as like, oh, that's gross, but also funny.
Yeah.
It felt like a Farrelly Brothers movie. High school era, something about Mary. That's how I felt. It was like, because there was gross shit, and it was kind of funny, and it was
Seth Rogen was co-writer on it. him and Bill Hader.
That feels right.
I don't know, I think there's also just lots of people in that movie that went on to like have great careers, and Emma Stone.
Yeah, I was gonna say
the McLovin guy,
Mintz-Plasse.
Who's apparently just does a ton of voiceover work. Good for him.
That's good work if you can get it, and people are going to hire you again and again and again once you got a bit of a rep.
I thought he was good in Role Models, and I don't think Role Models was a bad movie.
Role Models was fine. The weak link was Sean William Scott.
Yeah, I mean, isn't he always
kind of? Yeah, I always felt that way about the American Pie stuff. I always thought he was the weak link in those.
I always felt like Sean William Scott's just kind of like, oh, you couldn't get Ashton Kutcher.
Or like if you got somebody like Paul Rudd or Jason Biggs, it'd be like, well, you have to bring along my dopey friend here. Yeah,
he's my ride.
Right. Anyway, it's time for the breath mint.
It's time for your mom's favorite part of the show. It's time for the breath mint.
All right, so this week I had a couple of things on my list here. I finally saw Oppenheimer.
Good job.
Yeah, and boy, I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't expect I wasn't going to. Obviously, I know it's a Nolan movie. You got Cillian Murphy in it. You got Florence Poe in it. But then I didn't realize how stacked the cast actually was, because those two were the only names I really heard about in the lead up to the movie. I didn't know there was an extended Matt Damon thing. I didn't know that Robert Downey Jr. was in it. I didn't know all this. Like, none of the press had any of these guys in it.
Yeah,
none of the press.
Well, I mean, there wasn't a lot of press because I believe the strike was on or about to start.
Okay, that would have made a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Nobody even mentioned that my single favorite character actor of all time is in the movie as Truman, Gary Oldman.
Oh, yeah.
Gary Oldman's my dog. I will watch anything with him in it. It's him and Jesse Plemons nowadays. Anything that either of them are in. And so, yeah, boy.
Geez, Mr. White, you really got to be jacking off my dick like that?
I will give you that his role in Breaking Bad is not the best role in the show.
What do you mean?
I will give you that. But like, I'm very excited to see this thing that Alex Garland's coming out with called Civil War. He's one of the soldiers in it, and he was great in that.
What do you mean we need to make America great again, Mr. White?
And he was great in that Black Mirror.
The South Horizon. What do you mean? I think my uncle has been talking about that. I can hook you guys up, Mr. White.
And I liked him in that Thinking of Ending Things. Anyway, Jesse Plemons, what a interesting actor. But
a man who looks like he's only suffering from botulism.
A man who looks like like if Matt Damon got stung by a bee, I think is what
he looks like. Jesse Plemons looks like someone's always shining a flashlight in his eyes.
Yeah. The only other character actor that could have been in Oppenheimer that would have just like made it the trifecta for me would have been like Paul Giamatti, and I'm like, okay, well, this is it. But boy, what a flick! 3 hours long, and it doesn't feel it. Beau was Afraid. I had that like three-quarters of the way through the movie. I'm like, okay, I'm starting to wear out a little bit. I didn't have that problem with Oppenheimer, and I think it's because, like you mentioned when you talked about it when it first came out, it keeps going from set piece to set piece in a way that's got this energy that just keeps it moving, and there's something about kinetic. It. Yeah, and even the slower moments, which are supposed to be real character based, there's still always something looming, or there's something happening either in the background or even just between the characters that feels like, okay, this is something's going to happen here.
Yeah.
I really liked the brief Florence Poe performance in that.
She's not in it for long, but she's really, I mean, from the second she appears though, she really
electric.
Yeah. I think for me, I think that's when the movie actually starts to move, because I think until that party scene, I really spent a lot of time trying to be like, what the okay, where is this going?
Yeah, and I
think
true.
That is the biggest flaw of the movie, is that it takes probably, I want to say, about 30 or 40 minutes to actually establish some sort of thesis. Like the first 30 or 40 minutes do kind of feel like a bad Sonic Youth music video.
Yeah, there's some little funky, hey, it's Adams, and he's sitting in his bed and watching the rain, and like, okay, all right, I get it. He's talking about, the universe, whatever. But yeah, you're right. Once the communism subplot starts kicking in, once you meet Jean, once you also meet Kitty, and you have these, okay, Emily Blunt.
Mm-hmm.
Emily Blunt.
Yeah, she's great.
Cavalcade of stars. All the stars were there. I really enjoyed that. I kind of thought some of the
guy from The Boys is there. The guy who plays Huey.
Yes. Okay.
I think he has like 2 lines.
Yeah, but you're right. The face really stuck out. You're right. Yeah, just a lot of character actors in that. What a good little flick. You think for the first 2 hours, okay, this whole movie is going to culminate in the Trinity test, and that's going to be cut to black in a movie.
Sure.
And then the Trinity test happens 2 hours into the movie, and you're like, oh, okay. What's happening now? And what's happening now is the literal fallout,
the blowback
from that decision, and from that all that work that they did. The movie gives itself room so you can see Oppenheimer's life and how it affected him. This, not only the test itself, but like the government was being like, yeah, we don't have any more use for you. You're good.
Yeah.
Boy. And Robert Downey Jr., fucking A, man. Like he really,
what a rat bastard.
I know, and he plays it so well. It feels very real. And anyway, enjoyed Oppenheimer so much. Definitely putting that on my top 5 for this year. It's right up there. And then another one of my breath mints this week was a free PS Plus game.
I think it's the only way I would probably play a new Call of Duty game.
Yeah, it was 2020's Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. 3 titles.
We're going to need you to teabag the commies here.
You're not that far off either. I didn't even bother with the campaign. I just go straight to the multiplayer because that's where the meat is, honestly, with these games. There's no reason to play a Call of Duty campaign anymore. It's just...
I think the last Call of Duty game I bought, I've only bought 2.
Okay.
I think it was the first Modern Warfare and Infinite.
Okay.
Or Infinity. I think it's Infinite. The one that had Jon Snow as like the bad guy. It's like the one that's like the near future.
Yeah.
It's not the one with Kevin Spacey.
No.
Trying to find the perfect...
Infinite Warfare? No.
Infinite Warfare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Infinite Warfare. There you
yeah.
go. Just trying to think of like Kevin Spacey, like trying to find the using government money to make the ultimate twink to assault and then have murd with vehicular manslaughter.
Exactly. Oh man, Twink Death, but the video game. Yeah, that was Jesus.
Press F to pay respects to dead twink.
You can't see it, folks, but I got my hands in salute. God, the full title: Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, because it's not Black Ops 4. It is a sub Black Ops game called Cold War. Fuck if I know.
I heard the campaign actually isn't terrible.
I don't know. Didn't play it. Don't care.
I think it's one of those things like, wow, this is some really transparent. So they have like Oliver North, consulting on these games, or at least that one, and like, so I mean the politics of it. I mean the politics of every Call of Duty game.
I was going to say,
since they've been modernized, since Modern Warfare has always been incredibly sus,
to say the least. Yeah. But apparently the CG Reagan looked really good. Just based on the trailers I saw. But the multiplayer it's Call of Duty. It's Call of Duty. It's fine.
We need you to get Metal Gear. Or you take you to Zanzibar land. I don't really have that good of a Ronald Reagan.
It's fine. It works for me. I'll take it.
You want my wife to suck your dick?
Oh, Jesus, more than anything. Anyway.
God, the original throat goat.
Yeah.
She was waiting for Kissinger.
Just warming it up for you, baby. The last thing.
There's not so much teeth now. It'll get things sloppy.
So the last thing on my list.
Where's the grapefruit?
I gotta include the sound of the grapefruit trick now.
You remember when that was?
God, yeah. People would pass that around and like, check this out.
I don't need a grapefruit on my junk.
No, that seems like a recipe for disaster.
I can't with the medicine I take. I also can't have grapefruit. Well, I don't think you can put. I can't put it on.
Oh
my
wow,
meal.
yeah, you would. Yeah, I wouldn't. The last. I'm gonna get to this. I swear to God. The last thing on my breath is Party Down. Have you ever saw the show Party Down? But it was a weird, scrappy little ensemble comedy. Rob Thomas, the guy who wrote Veronica Mars, put it together with a bunch of friends of his, and
not the guy from Matchbox 20.
Nope, different guy. And He wrote Veronica Mars in a couple.
I want you to party down.
And I will. So you, so you had Adam Scott, who later went on to make a big deal of Parks and Recreation. You had Jane Lynch. You had a couple of the cast members from Veronica Mars. You had the guy on Silicon Valley who plays the long-haired dude whose name escapes me. But in this one, he plays Roman. It's the same character. He's just an asshole.
Sure.
He was on Freaks and Geeks, too. Uh-huh. Okay. His name, I cannot remember.
He was a rabbi in Dewey Cox.
Yes, thank you. Yes.
Which is a weird thing because I had seen Dewey Cox after Silicon Valley. And I'm like, wait, is that?
You've got a bunch of members of the state keep showing up, but the big one is Ken Marino. He's the main guy, Ron Johnson. But yeah, it's
Ron Johnson.
So they run a catering company, and that's the whole show, is that they go to all these different parties, which means that they can have every episode a new set of celebrity cameos. So J.K. Simmons shows up. You know, you've got just any number of all-star people. One that really caught me off guard was they went to a porno convention and they were catering it. Mm-hmm. And who comes in but Stormy Daniels? And this is 2005.
Right.
People didn't necessarily know who she was.
People were not so enlightened.
No, but I saw her, I was like, oh, okay. So she was on this show.
They may have known Alexis Texas, but
Stormy Daniels? What is that? Yeah. An interesting ensemble. Season 2 kicks off, and then they've replaced pretty much 2 of the 3 people. So they've got someone in for Jane Lynch. That's Megan Mullally. Many know her when she toured with Nick Offerman, her husband, or Children's Hospital. But yeah, it's fun. It's goofy. Apparently, they just came back with a new season like the past couple of years. So it went into hiatus for like 10 years and then came back with a bunch of new episodes. But I'm only season 2, so it's a half-hour sitcom. There's a little bit of drama. Brilliant. Well done. Anyway, Brian, what do you got for this week's break?
I ain't got too much this week, man. This is not been a big media consumption week, just working on things. And I did finish Grand Theft Auto 5.
Okay, what did you think?
You know what? I mean, have you played it?
I have played the first several missions as each character, but I haven't really gotten that far into it because it didn't grab me.
There's some stuff in there that's really fun and interesting. Mm-hmm. I think what I really missed was like the sense of challenge. Like,
okay.
Stuff doesn't really feel too hard. Maybe I've just played too many Grand Theft Auto games and kind of know what to expect, but like a lot of the missions aren't really some can be tough, but a lot of them really are just there to move the story.
Oh, so it's more of you're just going from A to B. You're not really.
Yeah, and I mean, there's like you're shooting up stuff, and some stuff can be tough if you don't make the right move, whatever. But because I still remember like the original Grand Theft Auto 3 and Vice City and San Andreas, like having some missions that were actually kind of tough. You know, follow the damn. All you had to do was follow the damn train, CJ.
Yeah, and that was tough. But I think that was partly down to the limitations of the software at the time, though. So
there is a mission in Grand Theft Auto 5 that involves you having to jump on top of a moving train with a dirt bike on some bumpy terrain, and it also sucks shit.
Yeah, you'd figure they would have learned that the first time, but now here we are again. Yeah.
Again, there's some stuff that's really funny. I think, again, Stephen Ogg as Trevor Phillips is generally really fucking funny.
He steals the show.
Yeah. Guy who plays Michael is, kind of fine as like
he's like a Sopranos background character kind of guy.
Yeah. And Franklin, I think, is as much as there can be a heart to the story.
Yeah,
because he's the guy you kind of don't want to see break bad.
Right. Yeah, he's trying his hardest to not go back to.
He just wants to like get out of his situation.
Right.
And like his friend,
is it Lamar? No.
Lamar, who's great. Like the guy who plays Lamar is great too. Like some really great interactions. It's a shame that you didn't make it to the end of the game because there's an interaction while driving between Lamar and Franklin after this big crazy moment. Lamar says something along those lines of like, you can keep worshiping your white god. I'm into that shit where like there's buffalo and stuff, and I'm blowing nuts all over the face of this little squaw, and I'm like, the fuck is this? Like completely out of fucking nowhere.
I love it.
really absolutely fucking it. There's one of those things where like, what the fuck did he just say?
Yeah.
But apparently a lot of the dialogue between Franklin and Lamar was ad lib.
Even what little I played, there's definitely you get the feeling.
You ass haircut.
Felt like two real dudes just shit talking each other.
The insane amount of cynicism and misogyny.
Yeah.
Really, I had friends who like worked in the industry who played the game because like, well, you kind of have to, it's your fucking homework. And just being like, if I didn't,
it's your homework. Yeah.
Yeah. If I didn't work in the industry, I don't know if I'd be playing this right now. Just like to the point where like, it just really felt so pro Gamergate edgelord shit.
Even the bits with the Michael's son, the first time you see him, he's like,
come on, who's
he's supposed to be you, the gamer, playing the game, and the game is making fun of you.
Yeah.
It's very much like,
come on, Dad's called teabagging.
Yeah, okay. And also, that's very much AJ Soprano. Fuck that. It's exactly what they were doing. Don't, you can't bullshit me.
And like his daughter, who's just like vapid, and his wife, the lady who plays his wife. Well, the weird thing is, I feel like they made her character model younger than the daughter. Like
oh wow, I didn't think about that.
They didn't hit that this woman might be like in her early 40s or something. Like made her look a little too young.
Okay.
There's also some stuff there where they tried to like mix in some like very left of liberal like kind of woke politics. Like the military is bad, or like like maybe. The CIA is, maybe the military aren't, the CIA is bad, like kind of shit, like very South Parkish.
Yeah.
Where it's like, okay, this is like, you're kind of taking something that sounds a little progressive, but then you're also living it back around to like something Ron Paul would say.
Yeah, because I think as far as I got in the game was you're trying to stop your daughter from doing porn. And then you do the mission where you are killing the CEO of the Facebook type of company. Like you're planting a bomb in his cell phone.
Plant a bomb in the prototype cell phone, and then you call it.
Right.
And it blows up his head.
Which is like, all right, interesting. I wanted to see where it went from there. But
it has its ups and downs. The stuff that's really good is great, but the lows are really low. There were some missions or some instances where I'm like, man, this is just, even me as a bitter fuck was like, this is too much. But this is also the same period of time they gave us like that game Hatred.
Yeah.
That's fair point. I mean, it was very much of the zeitgeist, but I'm glad that I went through it in 10 yethat later,
right?
Where I can almost look at like a weird artifact instead of being like, oh, this is what the culture is 100% right now. Not that things are too far removed, but it's like we're not released in the exact period of time.
Yeah, you have that ability to kind of divorce yourself from that moment, at least.
Yeah. As far as video games, I started Remnant 2 a little bit last
What did you
night.
think of Remnant 2?
I'm only about like an hour in and messing around in the first dungeon. Boy, that first hour is tough.
It's rough.
There's some bad world building. Yeah. Like it's like, this isn't Destiny.
No, and that's what I thought. I kept thinking, this is fucking Destiny 2. They're doing the Destiny 2 intro thing. Why are you doing this?
But not half as good.
No.
And
well, it's a smaller company, it's a
sure.
Well, actually, it's Gearbox, so maybe not. But it's they're trying something, but it just, I don't think it works. But then once you get to the city and you've got all your options open, you can go anywhere. Like, okay.
But I also feel like there's a lot of systems that aren't really explained to you very well.
No, it's very opaque. Or even like the different archetypes, the different classes you can have. I didn't know half of them existed because you go, they have you choose one, and you're like, sure, the one that has the dog, because I always like to have an AI companion in a game, so I chose Handler. But then I was like, oh fuck, I'm locked into Handler until I level it up to 10, and I can, and I can swap out a different archetype. And I didn't even know how the other, I don't even know how you found the other archetypes. Apparently, you got to go around to vendors and buy the. You got to buy the items. No,
yeah, it's so weird. I mean, people were losing their shit when this game came out, and I see a little bit of it because again, I'm not that far. But I'm like, okay, I can see some structure here and some verbs that I really like, but I still don't really know what the fuck I'm doing.
And that's probably going to continue for a little bit. I mean, the basics of it are that you're just
going around shooting shit, collecting items. And,
I mean, really, that's essentially the game.
But yeah, there's that, and kind of catching up on some music that I know I've been not paying attention to, and I I decided, it was a record where I heard like one of the lead singles off of. I'm like, oh, this is really cool. Cody Crucial from Shun directed this music video, and it's a cool little song. I bet this whole record is really good. I just I don't think I have the bandwidth for something new at this moment. And
yeah, well, what was it?
The new I don't even know how you pronounce the name of this project. Yves Tumor.
Okay.
Yves Tumor. YVESTUMOR. The new album, which has a really long name. Praise a Lord who chews but which does not consume, or simply Hot Between Worlds.
Okay.
Which was released back in March. Like I said, Cody Crucioli, I don't know.
From Shun, you said.
From Shun, who directed I think one or two music videos from the Yes record that everyone has already forgotten about.
Yeah.
Boy, that really came and went like a Hallmark movie.
Yep. What's the genre that we're playing with Yves Tumor?
Experimental. It's got some elements of hip hop, like indie rock. There's also some like kind of like a little bit of heavy metal-ish stuff in there. Like it's really just super interesting because I thought what I understood of them was that they were kind of like just someone that writes a bunch of music or performs to a bunch of music that's all entirely made in like Ableton. Okay. That's what they came off as, like, oh, this is someone that like grew up with like a shitty MPC that smells like cigarettes and like a cracked copy of Ableton.
I was
and that's
how
they
a
just
cracked copy of Fruity Loops or whatever. Yeah.
But apparently they're a very accomplished musician. Lots of really cool guitar work. The drums on this record go way fucking harder than they need to. Really just impressed with the production. It's just a general vibe of the record. It's been a while since I've listened to a record from front to back and just been like, oh, we're getting to the good part of the record.
Oh, towards the end or
it's like towards the middle, because like it starts out with God is a Circle, which I feel is like a pretty strong song, and you get Lovely Sewer, which kind of I think stretches out a little bit. Meteora Blues, which is okay. It's not a bad song. It hasn't gotten me just yet. Mm-hmm. And there's an interlude that's kind of just a nice little thing. And there's a song called Parody, which is one of I think the fourth single from this record that I'm really getting into. But it's like that's like, ooh, okay, we're getting to the good part of the record. And then you get to I think was probably the most popular song off of this, which is Heaven Surrounds Us Like a Hood, which is just a fucking banger. That's the one that Cody directed. And then you get into Operator, which is kind of like the production on this record is really interesting because I feel like when you go from chorus, verse, or you have bridges in there, stuff never really comes back the same. Like when you hit that second verse, like, yeah, it might be some of the same structure, but now there's something different. And it's not even something like really in the foreground. Like it just like texturally,
there's something.
These songs keep growing, and you start feeling like there's just like something's rising. Yeah,
there's movement.
Which a lot of music doesn't really have anymore.
True. Yeah,
like it's very
structured,
very kind of sometimes flat feeling, even if it is in some respect a very dynamic piece of music. Like I would only say it always feels like it's been focus group to death. Like the first song has some really interesting guitar work on there. Just a lot of stuff I wasn't expecting. It finishes off fine, but really that middle stretch of the album, Parody, Heaven Surrounds Us Like a Hood, Operator, and Spy of War. From there, it just kind of just hits a stride, and the final song, Ebony Eye, is just got this really interesting like synth string bit in the intro / verse that just kind of gets stuck in your head. It's just a record that like, oh, I knew this was probably going to be a fucking banger, but I didn't expect it to be like, oh, I've got to rethink like what my favorite records of the year are now. Just and lyrically very introspective and kind of like dark. Their voice is really unique, very high register. I don't know if I would say it's what's
falsetto?
Like a falsetto. I don't know if it's necessarily falsetto. They definitely play in the higher registers. This is a really interestingly produced record. I really love to listen to it on some really. I have nice speakers, but I would love to be in like a fucking room that's got a little bit of dampering and just pick it apart. Okay. It's a record that if all you ever do is listen to it in your car or like on your phone,
You're not going to get the full experience.
Probably doing yourself a disservice. It really feels like, and it's been a while since I've listened to a record where like, oh man, this would be so cool to like I have an aunt who is a big music nerd, and I'm like, I would love to take this over, like put that into her stereo, and just, she would be like, this isn't fucking Ozzy. What are you, some kind of Jones? Why are you playing this?
I haven't really heard anything this year that's that ear-catching. I really like the Punk Tactics record by the guys whose names I never remember. It's something and Bray. Johnny something and Bray.
Yeah.
They're really doing a Beastie Boys Run DMC vibe.
Yeah.
So that's
I really enjoyed the new Jeff Rosenstock. The High Vis record's pretty tight. The Angel Dust record's fun.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff out there. One of the things I picked up this year is I feel like there's a lot of musicians who came out with just really okay records that totally are getting deep-throated by the music press because people like Pitchfork or Rolling Stone didn't think they were cool when they came out with the actual fucking mind-blowing record a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Because I hate to say it, that new Billy Woods record is just really not that great
compared to the other ones. Yeah.
But like it's like Rolling Stone's top 10, like Pitchfork's fucking. I mean, like it's really okay.
It's like that thing where an actor gives an incredibly good performance and then the Oscars give him an Oscar the next year.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like a apology.
Good. Yeah.
It's like, man.
Best new music? No, come on.
Yeah, I mean, the new Armand Hammer record, which is Billy Woods and Elucid, like, yeah, probably should have got best new music when it came out. But it's really cool. It's got some cool shit on there. JPEG Mafia is on there. Kenny Siegel. Some other people, but it's just, I mean, it's cool. My thing with New York indie rap, hipster rap, conscious hip hop is that sometimes, man, it feels like there's a test afterwards.
I think the new Aesop Rock had me feeling that way. Yeah,
really, because the new Aesop Rock is like, oh, this is fun. This is fun Aesop Rock. I have not felt fun Aesop Rock since like Bazooka Tooth.
Yeah, that's exactly. And
like a coworker was like, is this Aesop Rock? And I go, one, this feels like a really weird place to be working at where someone else knows who Aesop Rock is, but I guess if he's going to be the guy there, he's the guy. And
also Aesop Rock is so distinctive, like just the way he does stuff.
But I was like talking with my brother, who's the one who introduced me to Aesop Rock, and I was like, I think this is the first thing I've liked of his in almost 20 years.
Fast Cars, Danger, Fire, and Knives, I think, was the last one for me, and I think that was
None Shall Pass. Had a couple cool songs, but
well, the collab he did with John Darnielle of Mountain Goats, that was on None Shall Pass. So you're right.
Yeah, that was cool. I think if he comes through St. Louis next year, this time, like, because I think ITS is, I think that record's killer. I'm really fucking enjoying it. I mean, the dude made a compelling and fun song about the time when he was a kid. He saw Mr. T like at Pizza Hut or some shit.
Yeah, I love it.
It's so fun. Other things I thought I wouldn't expect in 2023 is Dose One, Gel, and Buck 65 came out with the actual American Adonis record.
Oh.
And for people that don't know, because they're not fucking weirdo backpacker nerds like me, is the American Adonis was this project that Dose One of Anacon, Dose One Gel of Anacon, and Buck 65, who's Anacon affiliated, I suppose.
Adjacent.
Yeah. They apparently in the like late 90s did this record called American Adonis, this project, and they kind of recorded it all in like one night or one day, as the story goes. And it was one of like the early like digital hard drive recorders that they did it on. And you know where this is going.
I feel it in my bones.
The fucking hard drive ate shit, like because like a power surge or something, like the next day. And I think they did a couple things as American Adonis, but like it was never the magic. And there's stories of people that heard like the rough mix like the next morning, and were like, oh, this is one of the dopest things ever recorded. Like it was almost like kind of held like this would have changed hip hop kind of thing.
That kind of legend. All right.
And then, but you can never catch that sort of lightning in the bottle twice.
No, yeah.
20 some odd years later, they finally did American Adonis, and it's okay. Like,
damn,
it's really just okay, which is weird because I think the last like real record Dose One did was with Alias, which came out after Alias passed. I think it's technically the last record that came out on Anticon, Less for Orchestra, which is so fucking good. One of the best records of the last decade, easily.
Wow.
The one thing I do like about the American Adonis record, though, is it's kind of got this vibe of like they're switching between radio stations, kind of like Songs for the Deaf.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
And so in between songs, there's kind of like there's some stuff that feels like it might have been like a scratch track from one of like the original sessions.
Yeah.
Because there's just like this one thing where it's like between a song, there's a transition where it's Buck 65, and he's not doing the Johnny Cash of hip hop anymore. He's back into the nasally voice.
He's not doing the Mike Ness and Social Distortion voice. He's not doing.
Yeah. There's just like this thing it transitions. He's like, I followed Bert and Ernie into the cellar on a certain journey, and you're like, that's such like a crappy backpacker rhyme.
I know.
And like that sounds like something that like Sage Francis would have been like, yo, dog, that's real.
Yeah.
But there's another one where like the transition between two songs is just like them going like, we're American men, we like titties and car parts. We're American men, we like titties and car parts. And I'm like,
I'm nodding my head here.
Yeah, I'm like, I wish that was just a whole song, because like that is what it means to be an American man, is to like titties and car parts. That really sums it up.
Yeah.
But again, like it's okay. Like none of the beats really, like Gel is probably one of the greatest beat makers of his time, and it's just pretty good. Like,
that's a damn shame.
It's just fun. Like but there's nothing like, I think, other than the fact that like it actually happened. It's
kind of like when Chinese Democracy came out. The Guns N' Roses structure.
I don't know. Buck 65 came out with Super Dope this year, which I think is a very underrated record.
Can't say I heard that one.
I think it's one of the few things I've played for my girlfriend that she's like gone on and like added on her own to like a playlist, because we were like going somewhere. She was actually driving. I usually drive when we're hanging out. The playlist she had on, like Super Dope, the titular song came on. I was like, no shit. And she's like, yeah, sometimes you play shit that's good. And I'm like,
you love to see it, folks.
You love to see it, folks. Folks, don't you?
Well, that about does it for the program. We're going to tell you where to find us online. Brian, why don't you go ahead and start us off this week?
www.goatsy.com.
Okay.
Yeah, if you want to send me death threats or tell me I'm not funny, you can find me on Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, which I think I only ever talk about my bowel movements on now.
Oh, see, that's a pro follow right there.
Twitter, ishotgubord, ishotgudbord. If you want to check out some photos of people with their mouths open in a non-sexual manner, this ain't that kind of thing. I don't do boudoir.
Would you give if somebody paid you?
I did, just to say I did it, and it's fine. But like, I know what I look like, and I used to. And,
Fair enough. Fair enough. You don't need to go any further than that. I get it. Yeah.
Anytime, like when I was starting out shooting, I'd like do like a burlesque thing, because like Clownvis or a band I knew was performing. I would look at the other guys with cameras, and I'd just be like, "Yo, this is a rough." Like, I do not want to be associated with these guys.
That's fair. But anyway. Where can they find these photos of which you speak, Brian?
assholemusicphotographer.com.
Oh, yes.
If you want to see some photos with words, that's over at amusicphotographer.com. If you want to check out the last only good media website in St. Louis, you can hop over to the Arts STL. Some good movie reviews from St. Louis International Film Festival going up over there.
Oh, yeah, that was recently, wasn't it, Sliff?
It's wild to think that, I mean, the guys that do it apparently have been sowing a lot of ill will over the last like 10 or so years. But I think the death of the Tivoli has really...
Yeah, because that's the last place I saw Slip was there.
Yeah, I mean, I think I saw Delicatessen there, which...
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I saw, like some shorts and all that. But I think the death of the Tivoli... I mean, the Tivoli's back now, but it's owned by some cockadoo.
It's not going to be the same.
They're not going to do Rocky Horror.
No.
Or, I mean, like, oh, cool, so I can't go there and see a 3D porno or Cannibal Holocaust.
Arcadin might be your place, right next to Heavy Anchor. That's the new sleazy retro theater. That's...
Yeah, I might do that.
VHS night?
VHS night, yeah. I guess they're kind of taking, like, the Moolah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's basically Tivoli Moolah That's a combo space. And from what I understand, it's a nice place. So
Okay, let's check it out.
yeah, I haven't been there yet either. So.
I did like the outdoor thing for Strikers movie.
Yeah.
And that was really fun. And we did like this movie, this really weird animation movie that Michael Cera has to do sex sounds in the first 5 minutes and then he dies.
I love it.
And then it's really one of the most aggressive bad art styles of any movie. I gotta look this up real quick. Crypto Zoo.
I thought that was a crypto project, Crypto Zoo.
I mean, I'm sure it's like something, but it's this.
I've heard of it, at least.
This movie directed by Dash Shaw. Michael Cera's in it. No one else I think most people are going to recognize. It's 95 minutes. Whew. It only had a box office of $38,000.
I thought you were going to say $38.
It's rough. It has moments where it really flows and the imagery is really interesting, but it feels like a liquid television skit.
Yeah.
That has been stretched out way too long with not enough of a budget.
Fair enough.
But if you absolutely positively need a movie where Michael Cera is making sex sounds, Crypto Zoo.
All right.
Anyways,
the Arts STL.
The Arts STL. There's stuff on there and it's good. I was actually talking with Jason Green. As much as talking can be, like Facebook stats and all that. That all these fucking great. I don't know if I said this last week. All these great shows that got announced and not even a fucking peep from the RFT.
Yeah, that is a little weird.
I don't know. I think their editor-in-chief is just too busy doing weed reviews. Not their editor-in-chief, but their music editor as Bong Slippy Pants or whatever the fuck it are.
Yeah.
Or Hashim Bong. Or Weedian McGibbs. What? God, I feel that like legalization of marijuana was a psyops to make weed really fucking more annoying than I was
gonna say it was very annoying.
It's like MK Ultra, but for guys that like fucking get trash off a 2 milligram fucking edible. Yeah. Anyways, Jason.
Hey, Brian.
Where can they find you?
Hi, you can send your weed reviews to me at Twitter, various other places at Videocrime, VIDEOCRIME. Those other places include Blue Sky and such, Letterboxd, and any place there's a Videocrime. Of course, it's going to be me, with the exception of Instagram and TikTok. There, I am Laser Goose CEO. You can subscribe to my Substack, golfwolfmagazine.substack.com. You can find the show itself, 48minutesdogsbarking.com. Send us an email, Jason at 48minutesdogsbarking.com, or Brian with a Y at 48minutesdogsbarking.com. Give us a call, 314-246-9766. That's 314-AHOY POO. And support the show, patreon.com/48minutes of dogs. Well, about part time and shit.
It's about time. It's about part time.
We both did it.
It's about part time at the shit show where we say, "Toodaloo, motherfuckers, we gotta go
take a piss."
Take a piss. Yeah, you gotta go shake a bush. Gotta go make the blue water green. Gotta go get put myself on the sex offender registry for public urination.
Bye-bye.
Eat the knife.
What is eat the knife? I don't even